What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another post-game recap. As unfortunately, the Lakers lose the game to the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are fighting for their playoff lives, 113-96. Now, unfortunately, the Lakers just keep getting plagued with injuries. It's horrible. I mean, anytime we start making a run or anything this season, here comes another injury. So yeah, Kuzma was out with it looks like he tweaked his right ankle. And who knows if we'll get him back again. But we had no chance, guys, honestly. We had no chance tonight simply because of the injuries and depth problems. It was a tale of two halves. We played a great first half, and the second half we just completely fell apart. No excuses. I understand Kuzma went down, but we just we just mailed it in, man. Some of these turnovers were just like jaw droppers. I was like, whoa. But it is what it is, man. Looks like the Lakers are done mentally. I'm not sure if we'll win another one the way they're playing, the way they played, and with all these injuries. So, whew, man, it was pretty unbearable to watch that second half, honestly. But give it to the Wolves. Jimmy Butler made a great comeback tonight, and he looked good. So they're going to be a threat in the playoffs, and I can't wait for the playoffs to start. But on the other side of the spectrum, looks like this helps the cause for the Thunder to potentially bow out of the playoffs if they lose, two of the next three games. They're going to put themselves in position to fail, especially with teams like the Wolves and teams like that that continue to win. So it was unfortunate that we didn't get to see too much of Thomas Bryant either. I mean, he looked pretty good in that one layup, but it was garbage time. So I think when games were out, they're out of hand like these, Luke should throw in Thomas. He should have thrown him in the whole fourth quarter. Other than that, I mean, there's not much to talk about. Injuries continue to plague us. And again, Kuzma went out. Who knows if he will be back, with that sprained ankle or whatever. But basically 3 games left in the season, guys. And it's been a fun one, but it's been, plagued with injuries. So hopefully next season is going to be a lot better. It's not that serious with Kuzma, but seeing it how, minor injuries with Lonzo and Ingram have kept him out for several games. And, a mild sprain might keep Kuzma out for the season. So just it is what it is. And, congratulations to, Baylor, right? Congratulations to him, man. He got a statue unveiled today. Well deserved. It was overdue, right? I always forget. Yeah, I totally forgot about him, man. Totally forgot about him. They finally gave him his statue unveiling today. So, it's only right. Elgin Baylor, thank you. Totally, completely forget people's names sometimes, but yes, Elgin. The legendary Elgin. It was long overdue. So he got his statue unveiled today, and I'm happy for him. Well deserved, and that was basically the best part of the night tonight. But other than that, like I said, this game, I kind of felt like we were going to lose coming in, especially because the Timberwolves were getting Jimmy Butler back. But Karl Towns is a load, man. We couldn't keep him off the glass tonight, and it's just we had a good, again, tale of two halves. But it is what it is, man. It was an ugly game. I give you that, but we are shorthanded, so I can't really get mad at my Lakers. I mean, it's not for lack of effort, you know what I mean? It happens, yeah. The only good news with this, like I said, is now the Thunder are really in danger of bowing out of the playoffs because the West continues to win. So they're not creating any type of cushion. They're basically one loss away from dropping to 9th if Denver continues to win. So, Dan, would you bring Lopez back if we sign one max? Probably on a 1-year deal. I like what he did offensively tonight. However, man, rebounding, crashing the black glass is like he's allergic to crashing the glass, man. I see him sometimes. Guys get easy rebounds over him like crazy, man. He only jumps one time. He doesn't try too hard. He's always flat-footed. He doesn't box out. So that's the problem, That's the problem with Brook that I have. He really hurts us on the glass. On the defensive rebounding, I mean, we gave up so many offensive boards tonight. But, again, the Timberwolves are good at rebounding, so it's kind of, with all these injuries and stuff, it was kind of foreseen. Dan, why do you want to trade Lonzo? I don't want to trade Lonzo. I never said that. However, I did say that if I had to pick between Ingram and them, then of course I'd rather trade Lonzo than Ingram and other people. You know what I mean? So um, I'm just saying, like, if I had to put the pecking order in untouchables, it would be Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo, then Julius Randle. Like that's the way it should be. That's my pecking order, at least. That's how I feel. Some might have Lonzo on the top. It's close, but pretty much that's the way I feel like we shouldn't trade him in that order. We've seen enough of Lopez and Randall already to gag how we feel about them come free agency. Time to give Thomas Bryant the minutes for the remaining 3 games. I agree. I agree, man. That's what I expected tonight. But even after it was already a blowout, Luke refuses to put Thomas Bryant in without you know it being garbage time. So it sucks. But I really want to see what the kid has. We don't get to see much. Kawhi is available, people, and wants to play in LA. It is time to make a trade. Not if it's going to demand too many players, man. Definitely not. How long do you stay out for concussion protocol? If Denver beats the Clippers, at least they are out of the playoffs. How long? I mean, it should have been over. I just feel like this season we've been overprotecting our players, probably because of all the injuries to guys like Porzingis and young players, but and the fact that we didn't make the playoffs. So they're probably just overprotecting these young players. But at the end of the day, they should have been back. I'm sure if we were playing for something, they would have been on the court. Dan, did you see the unveiling? Jerry West tripped when he was going up the stairs to the stage and when he was going to make his speech. LOL. No, I didn't see it because I was working, but I'm going to watch the recap probably on YouTube tonight. I'll probably rewatch it over again. Dan, Thomas Bryant finished the second in G League Rookie of the Year votings. Wow. And we can't seem to play him. That's crazy, right? We should give him some playing time, right? Luke? Why are we not using the young center that we drafted? He's sitting on the bench. Why? Great question, Eric. That's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, it's about overdue time that they play him. I mean, it's not like there's any G League games going on anymore or anything like that. So it's way overdue. And I think I hope he starts one of these last 3 games. That would be so nice to watch. Concussion protocols 1 week. Nothing the Lakers can do about it. I guess. It's worth overprotecting them. Why risk the future injury in a wasted season? Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not mad that they're, sitting out, but I would like to see them at least one game before the season ends, hopefully. I don't care. Everybody in the blog can get mad at me, right? Trade Ingram because his defense is atrocious and he's injury prone with Lil Deng for Kawhi Leonard and a first-round pick. See, but I don't know about his defense being atrocious. I mean, everything you said would make sense from a certain point of view. I mean, if you can unload Lil Deng, then that makes that trade a lot more, acceptable as a Laker fan. Even though we don't want to trade Ingram, but Ingram's defense is not atrocious. Atrocious is like LeBron's defense on Ben Simmons tonight. That's atrocious, or like James Harden's defense the last couple of seasons. That's atrocious. So, I mean, that's a little harsh on the wording, but I mean, you're not too far off. The Lakers pull off something like that where we get to unload Deng, I wouldn't be mad because we are getting a superstar and we got to unload Deng. However, I would be sad to see Brandon Ingram go. I really don't want to trade him. But that's just my personal opinion. At the end of the day, whatever Magic decides to do, we'll see. Ingram is one of the best defenders on the team. Exactly. I don't get that. Like you said, atrocious. I'm afraid Ingram and Lonzo are made of glass. Nah, it's a little bit of an overreaction, man. Little bit of an overreaction. Thomas Bryant isn't that good. He's like a Mo Spates from a couple of years ago. You can tell that just based on off of the G League. That's crazy, man. Now we haven't really seen what he could do. You got to give him time. There's late bloomers in this league. There's we've really only seen him in garbage time in the NBA, so we don't know that. I mean, Genie fired Mitch, not Rob, and Magic. Sorry, my bad. I would dump Lopez. He is a joke. Defensively and rebounding wise, I'd agree with you. However, offensively, if we only sign one max contract, I wouldn't mind bringing him back on a 1-year deal. Kawhi is injured. Who knows how he might be? Exactly. That's why you don't mortgage the whole team for him. Dan, what do you think of Tyler Ennis lately? I see he's trying harder on defense and grabbing boards. Too little, too late. He didn't do it when we needed him, so I don't want to see him back in purple and gold. He could be in the NBA, just not in our team. Caruso fell off. I don't know about that. He's just not a starting guard material. He plays a lot better off the bench. I don't know if he fell off. He looked really good off the bench a couple of nights ago. Dan, Lonzo reminds me of Stockton. He's that type of point guard. They're playmakers for sure. However, Stockton was a pure shooter, so to be determined. He's more like a Jason Kidd as of now than a Stockton. Do you think we should still go after Boogie Cousins again? Depending on how he looks come July. If he looks like he's going to be ready, then maybe give him a shot on a 2 to 3 year deal max. I wouldn't throw a max contract his way because you don't know if he's going to be injured or if he's ever going to be close to what he was. So, yeah. KCP will be good 6-man for us. I doubt KCP will want to come off the bench. I don't think KCP, I think, is for sure goner. I can see the Knicks or some team like that offering him a contract, and he just takes the money. I'm not sold on KCP anyways. He's so inconsistent. I'd rather have Josh Hart there at the 2 guard. That's true. Caruso's playing back-to-back games. Yeah, that's only by default because, of the injuries to Lonzo. But still, Dan, I love their game, but it's okay with me if Randall and KCP don't get re-signed. Hope Magic doesn't pay more than 12 mil if they do come back. Nah, man. Randall's worth at least 15. At 15 to 20, I give it to him. I know he's had a bad couple of games, but you just can't change your stance based off of that. The majority of the season has been good for him. Dan, we should sign and trade Randall because he can't shoot and it's taking away minutes from Kuzma, and he is a turnover machine. Man, you guys cannot flip-flop on these players, man. Just a couple of days ago, we were talking about how great he is. So I don't see that drop-off. You guys are talking about Randall. Dan, let me read that comment. Let me go back up. He said, Dan, why are people acting like just not so long ago Ingram was looking like a future superstar? He gets hurt, and now all of a sudden he needs to get traded. LMAO, Ingram hasn't had a bad game. Well, here's the thing, bro. We have a lot of knee-jerk reacting fans, meaning they try to solve what's not broken. Don't fix it if it's not broke. You ever heard that saying? Right? It's not broke. So my thing is they look around the league and they'll see somebody like Ben Simmons, or they'll see, some young player that's up and coming. And if they don't get immediate results, they'll want to trade it and get those immediate results. But it's like children, if you give them everything they want, eventually it's not going to be good for them. However, if you teach them to be patient and earn everything and they learn from life, they're going to get better. And in the long run, it's more rewarding. Same thing with the NBA and with players. If you trade them away and you try to get basically what I call a Band-Aid trade, you try to fix something that's not broken. You trade Brandon Ingram because, quote unquote, he's injury prone, or Lonzo, and then they pan out to be stars a couple of years down the road on another team. You're going to feel really, really dumb. But that's the reason we're fans and we're not GMs. We're not as patient, right? In general. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about fans in general. One day they praise a player, the next day they want to trade him. Point in case, Randall. So I already heard let's trade. I wouldn't be mad if we get rid of Randall because he can't shoot. He's been dominating the last month or so. He had 3 bad games and now people want to get rid of him. So I'm saying, let's not be those flip-floppy fans. Let's just stick to our guns, man, and have faith. Paul George doesn't seem like he's happy playing with Westbrook. Most likely he will be a Laker next year. I agree, Eric, and it's not a good look for Paul George there. I mean, even analysts are starting to try to trash his game. That never happened before in Indiana. And you saw what happened to Victor Oladipo when he left Indiana, when he got traded there. So I just think Westbrook's game kind of gets in the way of other players' ability to, ability to produce. We do pass if we, Paul, be quiet. We do pass if we building for the future. If we sign PG and LeBron, that's not even enough to beat the Rockets or the Warriors. We'll see. We competed with all those teams. So, since we competed with all these teams, maybe adding a star or two will do exactly that and compete, get us to compete. He is not. Who would be happy playing with ball dominant Westbrook? Yeah, and also, you know, certain players are like that. Certain players like Carmelo's the same way. I mean, he's with two guys that are pretty much they need a lot of possessions. So yeah. I mean, why would you not want to come to Lakers where we have playmakers like Lonzo Ball, Ingram, guys who can get you the ball in your spots where you could just pull up and or just take people off the dribble and do your thing. Hart does what it takes to contribute, and I love his game, man. That's priceless. What he brings to the team is priceless. Dan, who would you rather miss the playoffs in the West? The Thunder for sure. That would be great because that guarantees Paul George a Laker. I would put my money on these baby Lakers with Boogie all day against any team next year. I agree. I mean, if Boogie was 100%, but we'll see. Lonzo, PG-13, Ingram, Kuzma, and Lopez starters. That's a good starting lineup right there. I would not be opposed to that at all. Dan, Puke Walton needs to be fired, man. I don't like his mindset he has when we don't have our players. Again, I'm not even going to touch on that, man. We've touched on that probably. This is what video number 70. This is video number 77. We have about no. This is video number 78 because we have 3 games left. So I've touched that subject probably about 60 of those videos. People telling me that he needs to be fired. Like I don't see it I don't see it this season at least. One more season like this, and I think it's more realistic. But I think they're going to give him time to develop unless, like I said, a free agent comes in demanding a different coach. So just sit tight on Luke Walton, man, and we'll see what happens with that. Dan, we need a defensive center, not another scoring big. Love Cousins, but we need a rim protector. I agree with that as well, but you can get that as a backup. You don't need to get that as your primary. You understand what I mean? Since we live in I guess not live, but I guess since we're watching a positionless league, the NBA now, you don't need that rim protecting center to be on the floor at all times. Simply, you need him when guys are going off. So if you get somebody, you sign them. Let's say we get Desmond or Noel or somebody like that to come off the bench, and maybe when a big like Carl Towns or somebody's killing inside, you sub him in and you put a stop to it. So Dan, Pelicans won. OKC is in trouble. Yes, sir. And that's the best part. I can't wait. I hope that they drop, man. OKC got to lose tomorrow. If OKC loses tomorrow, that'll be great. So we'll see what happens. But the Rockets, hopefully they're not resting players since they already secured the number 1 overall record in the league. So hopefully they put out the Thunder. Then what happened to Kuzma? He tweaked his ankle, man. He's been playing with a troubled ankle since a couple of games ago. So this is one that he probably should have sat out for the whole game because he wasn't effective at all. Dan, did you see the rumor that LeBron has disagreement with Gilbert because of Trump and the Sixers and the Rockets? Yeah, but all these rumors that are coming out right now, man, you take them with a grain of salt because like I said, 99.9% of them never come to fruition. So we'll see what happens. However, the doors will open up this summer. This summer, we're going to know more. That's when the rumors really count. Come July 1st, you start hearing, Adrian Wojnarowski come out with LeBron really interested in the Lakers or LeBron interested in Philly. Those are the real rumors you got to believe, From here till then, we got a long way to go. Dan, the media says Luke has done a great job. Well, to their standards, not to Laker fans' standards. So, I mean, we expected a lot more from Luke at this point. At least I know I did. Especially if you see all the games. The media, basically, they don't see all the games, and they're taking it from the small sample size that they've watched. And so, the nationally televised games, they're looking at Walton, they see 34 wins compared to, the 16 before he came in. So, yeah, in their eyes, they're going to say he did a good job. However, we know that it was very average at best this season. It could have been a lot better. So many late game situations that could have ended so much better that ended up in either Julius Randle's hands getting stripped or, taking a contested fadeaway shot or something stupid. So he has a lot of room for improvement. And I was not pleased with I think I wasn't pleased with 60% of what Luke has called this season to end games. So at this point, like I said, we're gonna rock with Luke because by default it looks like he's gonna be here at least one more year. But anything can change over the summer. Dan, the dark days of summer is coming. No more Lakers for about 6 months. But you know what? That you got something to hang your hat on for this summer. I tell you, we just pay attention to the playoffs because it's going to be fun to watch this season, and it's going to have major implications to how free agency shapes out. For example, Paul George doesn't make the playoffs or gets bounced in the first round, guaranteed he leaves. Lakers are a very, very high chance of landing him. If Kevin Durant and the Warriors lose, and there's a high chance he leaves. I mean, Kevin Durant's already bumping heads with his head coach, and who knows if him and Draymond get into it. You just never know. And then again, in the Eastern Conference, we got the Cavs to look at. If they don't make it at least to the finals, and that could be a wrap for LeBron and Cleveland. I mean, so many outcomes, so many possibilities. The sky's the limit. So you have the playoffs to watch this summer. You know, you're going to have the lottery. We're going to cover that together. Again, we're going to have the draft. We're going to have free agency, summer league, and we're going to have the World Cup. And then we're going to have football season. So all that should hold you up until the Lakers next season. And I'm going to do my best to keep you guys entertained, man. I'm doing my best. Absolutely. Yeah, this is actually one of the most exciting summers for me, believe it or not, because it's jam-packed. It's jam-packed. It's not like past summers, like the past 4 seasons. We didn't have nothing to look forward to other than the lottery and the draft, right? But now we have some real stuff to look forward to. So as well as, keeping tabs on the offseason development of young players. So I'm going to be updating you guys with that too. Just talking about the little improvements they're making here and there. When video clips come out, I'll be dropping videos. So yeah, you got to be excited. This is going to be an interesting summer. Dan, so frustrating tonight. In the third quarter, with all those horrible turnovers, Dad, the Lakers had, it definitely cost us the game. That and the fact that Kuzma was out of the game, we had no shot. Once Kuzma was out, no firepower, no kind of spark plug. Again, they just zeroed in on Randall, took him out of the game. And then, Lopez basically slowed down in the second half, didn't give us much. So we didn't have no offense. So there was no chance, man. Hey, Dan, I really hated these fans only thing on NBA TV. I wished I lived in Cali whenever they do this ish again. Oh, yeah, I heard about that. They were playing some fans only stuff on NBA TV, and it was kind of getting in the way of the game. Somebody tweeted it to me. So, yeah, man, I feel your pain, but I don't know why they do that. They should focus on the game because that's what fans want to watch. We don't want to see other fans, on TV, but I got you. Ben Simmons is the next LeBron. It's early, but it's looking very promising for him over there. I mean, we all knew Ben Simmons was going to be a beast coming out of the draft. If you've been watching basketball for a long time, you knew it. And so is Brandon Ingram. They're going to be Carmelo LeBron type duo for a long time. I'm not saying which one's Carmelo and which one's LeBron, but I can't wait to see that little rivalry in the future. Hopefully, we have a nice rivalry going against Philly in the future. I think we're going to match up pretty well. But yes, Ben Simmons is really good. I'm not ready to go out on a limb and say LeBron good, but he's his own player, man. He's his own player. Some people compare him to Magic, as you can see. Dan, do you think the NBA should start the season in September to avoid injuries? I have no idea, but they got to do something, man. Too many injuries. There has to be some sort of I think back-to-back should be eliminated. I hate back-to-backs, especially when you do a game and then you have to travel, and then, that's all wear and tear, man. Hey, Dan, I always love these pre- and post-game videos you put out for us, Los Angeles Lakers fans across the country. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Jameson. Thank you. Ben Simmons is going to get destroyed in the playoffs. We'll see, because the East is looking weak again. I mean, Toronto's a pretender in my book, even though they secured the first overall seed. Boston's injury plague. Cleveland is not that strong, so we'll see. I'm cheering for them out in the East. I want to see them do good, man. It'll be interesting for the playoffs if they could do good. I wanted the Knicks to do good in the past years. That would have been interesting. But Philly is as close as it gets, man. So hopefully Philly goes far, and then it'll be fun to watch to see if they can pull off an upset or two. If they pull off an upset, you know what it's going to feel like? It's going to feel like when the Golden State Warriors upset the Dallas Mavericks. That was a fun year to watch playoffs. So hopefully we have another year like that, because the East has been pretty dead, and it's been a cakewalk for LeBron all the way to the finals. So anything other than that would be exciting for me. But that's just my personal preference. The West for sure is going to be entertaining. I can't wait. I can't wait, guys. We're basically a week and a half out, and we'll see what happens. You cheering for Philly? Nah, screw them. I'm not cheering for Philly. I want to see them get far in the East simply because I don't want LeBron to get far. That's boring. I mean, nobody wants to see the same thing over and over. And I think Philly has the best chance of matching up. They're younger than them. They're more athletic. They got some shooters. They're not dead in the water. And then, Joel Embiid is going to be a beast to contain if he comes back in time. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not cheering for nobody but the Lakers, but I just want to see them pull off an upset. That would be fun. That would be really fun. Dan Ingram needs to play the point guard to excel and become greater than Simmons. The goal is for him to become the best player he can be. He should never start matching up to somebody like Simmons. Their games are completely opposite. Ingram is a scorer primarily and a playmaker secondary. It's opposite for Ben Simmons. So I think he just needs to focus on his body, get stronger, and Ingram's going to be a problem in this league. You didn't hear it from me. You heard it from CJ McCollum first. So game recognized the game, man. LeBron will play real come playoffs. Oh, so you mean he's not playing real right now? I mean, he's dropping 39s and I mean, he's playing real right now. His team is not going to be able to get over the hump. I don't think so this season. But could be wrong. We'll see. Dan is the only dude I'd watch till 120. LOL. Keep doing your thing. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you, man. Is that late, huh? But Dan, Braun might go to Philly, shaking my head. If he does, we wish him the best. That's a 2-year project at most. It's not going to work out anyways if he goes there because Ben Simmons and Braun play very similar. Even though this position is basketball, they need more shooters. Embiid can stretch it out and shoot, but can he be consistent weapon for LeBron? I don't know. Philly has cap space for 2 max free agents. If they get stars, I'm done. Nah, it'll be interesting because, like I said, the East cakewalk for Cleveland. Anything is better than Dan Gilbert winning. Remember, Dan Gilbert is the real one you guys should dislike because he was the one that was snitching to the league, talking about the Lakers shouldn't be allowed to make a super team, only to turn around and build his own. So he's the ultimate hypocrite. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Always fun talking to you guys, man. Can't wait for the playoffs. I'm going to be covering them certain games this season, the really exciting ones. I'm going to be doing live streams for you guys. You guys requested it, so I got you guys. And we'll be talking a lot of basketball this summer. So keep it locked right here, guys. Much love, Laker Nation. Keep your head up. Brightest future. We have 34 wins. Hopefully we can get to 36 at least. That would be great. Hopefully you guys have a great night. And I know I will. I'll catch you guys soon.